Hello, my name is Pooja. Welcome to this week's episode of Around the World. You must have heard various stories of conflict and war all over the world. Some wars were fought between two factions, while some between two countries. However, all these conflicts ended after a certain time. Even major wars like world wars ended. However, a war is going on for decades with occasional pauses. This war halts for some time and then disturbingly violent images of airstrikes resurface. We are talking about a war which is being continuously fought between the two Middle Eastern countries, namely Israel and Palestine, for decades. Now, a pertinent question arises that why we are discussing the Israel-Palestine War in today's story. Actually, the recent tensions between Israel and the Palestinian extremist group Palestinian Islamic Jihad have culminated in several bloody conflicts. Israel arrested a member of this extremist organization and then carried out several attacks on the Gaza Strip. Notably, Israel carries out such attacks on Palestine from time to time. According to the BBC, 43 people have died in this attack, including children. Israel's recent action in the Gaza Strip has been strongly criticized by the Islamic world countries. They have also warned Israel of dire consequences. Islamic countries like Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Iran, UAE and Qatar have opposed Israel and supported Palestine. As per the media reports, a ceasefire has been announced for the time being. According to the news agency Al Jazeera, a ceasefire has been announced due to the humanitarian crises created by the violent attacks. Egypt has played a cardinal role in establishing truce between Israel and Palestine. We will discuss about Israel-Palestine issue with its historical background in today's episode. We will also discuss India's stand on the Israel-Palestine issue. Let us first of all understand the historical background of the Israel-Palestine issue. The matter is about 100 years ago when on one hand Jews were being targeted in Europe, while on the other hand the demand for a separate country for Jews was gaining momentum. At the same time, the genocide of Jews by the Nazis in Germany was at its peak. Millions of Jews were massacred by the Germans. However, in recent years, Jews are being hated again in European countries. This fact has been revealed by surveys conducted in countries like Germany, Sweden, Britain, and France. France witnessed a 74% increase in attacks on Jews in 2017-18. Besides, violence against Jews in Germany has increased by 19%. Now the question arises that what the Jews were doing when they were being persecuted. When the Jews were being persecuted, they were looking for a safe haven. The region of Palestine lying between the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan River was considered sacred to all three: Muslims, Jews, and Christians. Therefore, Jewish people started settling in Palestine in large numbers. However, Palestinians faced several challenges due to the mass exodus of Jews. They started opposing the settlement of Jews. After the Second World War, the demand for a separate country for the Jews started gaining momentum. Finally, in 1948, a new country called Israel was established in this region. The settlement of Jews was already being opposed by the Palestinians, but after the formation of Israel, the local tensions turned into a territorial dispute. Now the question remains that why this area of Palestine is special for more than one religion. Actually, Jerusalem is considered a holy site for both Israelis and Palestinians. It is known as Jerusalem in Hebrew and Al-Quds in Arabic, and it is one of the oldest cities in the world. Jerusalem was captured, demolished, and resettled several times. At the center of Jerusalem is an ancient city known as the Old City. It includes 4 areas, which belong to 4 different communities: Muslims, Jews, Christians, and Armenians. In the Christian area lies the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is the center of faith of Christians around the world. The Armenian community has preserved its history and culture in St. James Church and Monastery. The oldest of the 4 areas is the area where Armenians reside. It is also the oldest center of Armenians in the world. The Jewish area has the Kotel or Western Wall. It is the remaining part of the wall of the Mount. It is believed that the Holy Temple of the Jews used to be at this site. Moreover, Muslims share the largest area among all the four areas. The Dome of the Rocks and Masjid al-Aqsa are located in this area. It is situated on a plateau called Haram al-Sharif by the Muslims. The sacred site of Dome of the Rocks is located just a few steps away from the Haram al-Sharif. It is believed that the Prophet Muhammad left for heaven from Haram al-Sharif. Now another question arises that what is the Jerusalem dispute? Actually, all these four areas are on a 35-acre campus. However, Muslims and Jews are fighting over the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Both Muslims and Jews consider this place holy and both also have their right to it. East Jerusalem was captured by Israel from Jordan in the 1967 war and the Al-Aqsa Mosque is located in this area. At present, the responsibility of maintaining the Al-Aqsa Mosque rests with the Muslims. However, Israel has been increasing the settlement of Jews in the mosque area, that is, East Jerusalem, for several decades. Consequently, tensions are escalating in this area between Israel and Palestine. Also, the Arab world has started opposing Israel owing to this conflict. Palestine has two provinces. One is called the West Bank and the other is the Gaza Strip. The West Bank is ruled by the Palestinian National Authority while Gaza is ruled by Hamas, a Palestinian Islamic political organization. The US and the European Union consider it to be an extremist group. On the contrary, various countries of the world do not consider it as an extremist group. As per the experts, Israel must accept the sovereignty of the Palestinians, including Hamas, for peace in this region. However, Israel holds that it will not be able to hold talks with Palestine until the government leaves Hamas. However, experts are of the view that Israel does not want to establish peace in this region because it knows that Palestine would never shun Hamas. In such a scenario, Israel will not only get an opportunity to attack Palestine, but it will also be able to settle more and more Jews in the Muslim-majority West Bank. As a result, Israel would be able to claim more land in the West Bank. Now, another significant question arises that what is India's stand on the Israel-Palestine issue? Although the countries of the world seem to be divided on the Israel-Palestine issue, but there are some countries which do not support either Palestine or Israel. These countries have a balanced opinion on the issue. India is one of the countries which have a balanced opinion on this issue. Then a question arises that why does India not support either Palestine or Israel? Actually, India has good relations with both Palestine and Israel. India seems to be standing with both the countries on different issues. While India stands with Israel in terms of trade, defense deals, and intelligence, it stands with Palestine in terms of human rights and its independence. Hence, India has friendly relations with both the countries. In recent years, defense deals between India and Israel have increased. Narendra Modi became the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Israel in 70 years. India has old relations with Palestine as compared to Israel. India's policy towards the Palestinian people has always been sympathetic. According to India's Ministry of External Affairs, India's support to the Palestine issue is an integral part of the country's foreign policy. In 1974, India became the first non-Arab country to recognize the Palestinian Liberation Organization as the legitimate representative of the Palestinians. In 1996, India opened its representative office in Gaza, which was later shifted to Ramallah in 2003. India has played an active role in supporting the Palestinian cause in various multilateral forums. In addition, India has very good relations with Arab countries and all Arab countries support Palestine in solidarity. India has been successful in striking a balance with both Arab and Israel due to its diplomatic acumen. In addition, India has no direct stake in the Israel-Palestine conflict and it cannot exert any influence on the conflict at the ground level. India believes that the Israel-Palestine conflict is a historical problem and both sides have their own needs. Therefore, India wants to maintain a constructive stand while appealing for a peaceful solution. That's all in this episode. Now, let us note down today's question. What is the meaning of India's balanced stand on the Israel-Palestine issue? Discuss.